So, I've been playing D&D for a little bit with my buddies, and it's been a lot of fun. So, I honestly didn't expect to love D&D as much as I do, um, given how complicated the game can be, or how complicated it is. But I've been genuinely enjoying my time with just acting out my character. But it does feel like I've been a little lazy with it because I've been saying for the longest time that I would be updating a character sheet, not a character sheet, but my what's it called? My backstory. There it is. Because I went off on my backstory a while ago, as as I'm sure some of you may know. Um, but I am thinking about doing it. I don't know if it's gonna be between classes or today because it's Friday currently, November 4th, 11:41 a.m. I've still got some time to kill, but I want to do it on homework. So I've mostly been chilling for the previous days, especially considering I closed last night. But that's the point. Um, it's a lot of fun. Now, unfortunately, due to a certain way that due to basically how I've asked around and the results that came from not courtesy, but just trying to see if everybody's okay with it. Somebody wasn't okay with me sharing the recordings, but I can at the very least tell you what's going on. So, in our main campaign, all of our characters met up at a carnival, and when two of them, for some reason, buddied up to break out this giant bear, and when they got caught by the guards, me and the other character, were just watching, and the other character, he's the monk. He decided to, of course, be a noble and try to help out the other two. We didn't get the full context up until that point, but we just saw that one of them was in peril. The druid was in peril, and we decided to help him out. And then that was when the sorcerer of the group, the sorcerer grabbed somebody's ass, which started the whole thing. As funny as that sounds, which is funny because that was the result of a failed roll or an unsuccessful roll to steal a key that they needed to free the bear. Which, looking back, is really funny that literally that one moment could have changed everything. Like, this is some Telltale shit or David Cage shit where it would have been straight to the quest at that point, potentially, because we are using one of the pre-made stories, or at least preset scenes. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about if you've played the game or if you're a DM yourself, which, by the way, I do want to DM later, but I don't know when. But then we were in prison. That's when, in my backstory, a certain somebody comes and helps us out and gives us the quest that we need. So we get set. We're going on our quest, but we have to hit a library because the monk of the group had something with the library that was tied to the carnival. So we did that. We met up with a contact, which is who he was wanting to meet, but the druid and the sorcerer, still fucking around, decided to go back for the bear. So me and the monk realized this. We're much closer than the other two, cause the druid tried to fucking break out aggressively. Like, I'm telling you, they violently shook against the cage or the prison cell. But then, we all make it to the carnival. We're chasing after them. Me and the monk are chasing after the druid and the sorcerer. But they had a 4-minute head start. So they have 4 minutes until we at least get to the outskirts of that carnival. And so we meet up. We're like, hey, what the hell is going on? Are you trying to get us in prison again? But then they ask for our help, which my character and the monk's character doesn't know the context. I'm a rogue, by the way, with a criminal spy backstory. Yeah, educating. We refuse to help because they don't give us a concrete reason. They say, oh, it would have been bad, or that bear doesn't want to be in prison. Well, yeah, nobody wants to be in prison, but like the reason behind their incarceration matters, which I really wanted to say, but I kept getting cut off, so bummer there. To be fair, I'm a halfling, so that would probably fit anyway. But anyway, the druid and the sorcerer are still planning. The monk in the story is just meditating, or at least that's the reason I gave, because the player behind it actually had to go out briefly. And it's then that they're like, hey, do you want to help us? And I'm like, no. And in the process of me exchanging with the druid, the fucking sorcerer actually pulls a successful sleight of hand and takes my shit. He takes my thieves' tools in particular because he has to pick the lock. Luckily for me, I'm more proficient in lockpicking than he is. Lockpicking requires sleight of hand and the proficiency bonus, I think. My sleight of hand is +5 and proficiency bonus is 2. So I have a very big advantage against him, which his proficiency is like half of that, or a little less than half. But yeah, he tries to get the big guard's attention because there's a bigger guard taking care of the bear at this point. So he's trying to sneak around. He trips. So my rogue runs in, takes the shit, and this is where my character gets pissed the fuck off. And here's the thing about roleplay: being cucked over by other players, you really get into it, and it's very dangerously transcends emotions. Luckily, I was able to, I just got myself back together so that it doesn't transcend. Because at the end of the day, D&D is just for fun, or at least the way that I see it. So this asshole, he has an ability so that he can disguise himself as anybody that he's seen. He disguised himself as an old man and he incriminates me, saying that I stole his shit, and then I have to run off. Luckily, he was far enough away so I didn't have to roll initiative. But god damn it, dude. But what I didn't know, which is also elaborated on, is that this was part of it. This was quick improv by the sorcerer to get less guards in the vicinity, or have less guards in the vicinity so that it could be easier to break out the bear. And this is where fucking it gets really tense, because I'm off, or yeah, I have to run off. The sorcerer's still acting like an old man who does some hardcore shit and actually like makes a wound on his back or on his lower leg so that he can fake it and it could look I guess realistic. He tries doing a performance which actually fails, but then he tricks the guard into thinking that he's actually insane. But then somehow he's left alone. He leaves. I chase after him after I evade the big guard. It was at that point that the sorcerer runs towards the monk, who did return by that point. And the druid is trying to break out the bear. This is where it gets really fucking tense. Because there were a series of rolls that she had to do. She had to roll for, I mean, of course, roll for the chance to hit and roll for the damage. She kept getting consistent hits on the lock, but the damage wasn't enough to break the lock. So, and every time, she is also, right before doing this, told the bear to make a distraction, like make some noise, which actually ends up harming the bear a little bit. Sorry, just a sec. Alright, sorry about that. So the bear is taking damage for after every attempt that she fails on the lock, and this also goes into something which might give away the result. So, for a brief note of context, after a few failed attempts, DM says, "This is it. If you fail this attempt at breaking the lock, the guards will round the corner because she's behind the cage, being hidden by the bear, but she has advantage because she's hidden. And if she fails this next throw, she doesn't. There's a good chance that she might die. If she dies, that's it, because of course. And you know what? I have the audio right here. I'll just let it play. So, yeah.
What does this roll for again? The lock.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Let's go!
What in the fucking
Yeah. It was fucking nuts. So we have a fucking bear in the group, and it's funny because somebody else came in earlier at that point, and so we made them the consciousness, I guess you could say, of the bear. So that happens. When I caught up with the sorcerer and the monk, I chastised the sorcerer because of course he took my tools. But then that's when we see the bear, the druid on top, and we all escape the carnival and go on our quest. It was fucking nuts. I really wish that I could share the audio files, or at least make the audio public, but naturally I can't. But take my word for it, it was the most tense shit ever, and you could hear it. Everybody, or at least me, I was being really fucking loud, and my voice is shoddy because of it. It's been shoddy since the afternoon, like 3 o'clock yesterday. But my god, it was so good. Yeah. Even, I've said this before, but with thinking about moments, but thinking about that moment just makes me euphoric. Like, that whole thing was shocking in the best way possible. But our session did end on a cliffhanger, and we'll just have to pick it up from there. That's a really short version of the of how the campaign is going so far. There's still plenty to go, but there's still plenty to enjoy as well. So I'll keep those who want to have a gander an update on that, depending on how many significant things have happened. And we did level up, which is very important, because I got some really lucky rolls, and I doubled my health. I went from 9 to 18. So, and also I got a cunning action for my rogue. So that means I can dash, disengage, or hide as a bonus action. That's immediately after I say hit or move, I think. Well, move, I don't know. Hit for certain. So now I'm pretty much set, which is really, it's super relieving, because then I can take way more hits than I ever could. just at level 1. And the DM did advise that we should start at level 2, but I thought it'd be more interesting to leave at level 1. And same thing for everyone else, so we just left it at that. But yeah, that's my session in D&D. I am curious of how other people that play D&D think about the game or their experiences, unless they think about playing this, which at that point anything character related would have to be revealed in the campaign. But of course we just have to remind ourselves, hey, our characters don't know this, so there's that. So yeah, also given that D&D has actually been starting to become a fast favorite, I'm kind of thinking of maybe doing pieces here and there where I might do a bit of voice acting. I've tried it before on Insta stories. They fucking sucked. But in particular, I've been thinking about doing some operator voice lines, and possibly even making myself an operator. Not to say that they should do that or include me as an operator in the game. I would suck total ass. But I just thought it was a fun idea, and who knows, maybe I'll do that later today, maybe I'll do it next week. Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't played D&D, do yourself a favor and at least try it. At least do a practice session beforehand. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do some homework. Well, first I gotta go to the store because I've been running low on shampoo and body wash for the better part of a week. I critically need that right now. So I'm gonna have to do that. Also a bit of homework, and a week and a day from now, your boy's gonna be turning 19. So there's that too. So yeah, I gotta do some housekeeping as well. Well, that or I might just go back in my bed. I don't know. But yeah, take it easy, everyone, and I'll see you around.